Happy Friday, everybody. Thanks for showing up to the next Championship Mindset podcast. I appreciate you taking time out of your day to join. And so today is a special, unexpected special episode. Dylan Meyer was grew up playing basketball, travel teams, all that stuff, and really saw the perspectives of the issues in today's sports. And at a very young age, he was playing around with Photoshop with his cousin and created a Dwayne Wade page. Okay, Dwayne Wade I live in Milwaukee. Dwayne Wade went to Marquette University, is now is a Hall of Fame basketball star. Okay, and Dwayne Wade connected with him and saw that fan page and said, "Hey, shut that down. Come and do my social media." And from that, he went on to creating Legacy of Legends, which is go to legacyoflegends.com. You'll see what he does, but connects athletes and parents with the right type of coaches in all different sports and all over. It's international. Okay. So anyhow, he was unable to appear today. He had an emergency this morning and just got a message a little bit ago. So we're going to have a special episode of me. We're going to wing this, but it's all in divine timing. Okay, divine timing kept coming up in my meditation yesterday, today, and here we are, divine timing. And I'm going to share with you my story and how impactful it is to anyone that is willing to take a few minutes and listen, because we all go through challenges. We all have mindset issues. Okay, and how did all this come to be where I am a mindset coach at a very high level? Is because of all the things that happened for me in my life, which my whole life I thought happened to me. Okay. The happening to me is what I call negative programming from the societal system. Okay. So if you think of the societal system, you think of a box, we're all in it. Real life happens outside of that box, but everything inside we're programming through learning, experiencing, hearing, feeling, all of our senses, and we internalize that, and then it comes out as a thought, an action, and an experience. This is how reality is created. Okay, and there's a lot of things that influence us, that detach us from ourselves and our feeling ourselves. You look in the mirror one day at 40 and you're like, who the heck is that? Okay, I'm sure that resonates with most people. All right. So anyhow, today I'm going to share about me, how impactful my life experiences have been as a young athlete growing up at a high level of athlete. Okay. In every sport that I played, it kept going and going. And I only had this identity to be this athlete, play pro, push, drive. Okay. Desire, drive, and discipline. That ruled my life. Okay. And soccer was one of those forefronts, and got to a point where I was excelling and broke a bone in my foot. Turns out it was a bone defect. I only had the identity of this top athlete. That prevented me from moving forward because the orthopedic surgeon said, you can no longer play. It's a bone defect. It crushed me. It beat me down. I had no ability to manage my mindset or emotional states. I'm sure everyone has had this experience before. And in fact, most people look at the world. They have no ability to control their mindset and manage their emotional states. And what does that equal? Reaction. Okay. There's two ways to live according to the Bible, according to God, all of this. And I'm not here to preach, but my foundation is Jesus Christ. Okay. And there's two ways to live: in fear. That box, the societal box, traps us in fear. Okay. Outside of that box is where real true life is. And you learn to live in the box and out if you come to this type of awareness. All right. So, as that athlete, my parents and I and my family took a trip to Colorado and drove okay, across the country. And we stopped at different colleges, Notre Dame, Nebraska, different colleges where I was going to go to college. I was going to pick one. And in this moment, as a senior in high school, when this happened to me, for me, okay, and I could never play again, I spiraled out of control. I had no identity other than that high level athlete, no ability to adjust or manage. Shortly after, one of my best friends died. Shortly after, another best friend died. Went to a party. I did drugs. I tried cocaine. Yeah. Instantly addicted to level 9. And I had to have more of it. Moved out of my parents' house, my first apartment, and everything spiraled out of control to the point where I ended up moving to an area of Milwaukee, Wisconsin, where there are no white people, and lived above the leader of the Gangster Disciples in Milwaukee. And the rest of the gang lived the block. Okay. And they did not, so white people, not allowed. Okay. This continued to spiral out of control. You can imagine what I experienced. You can imagine what I witnessed. He passed. I didn't. Okay. We became friends. They did not like that. I was able to get out. He didn't. All right. That was divine intervention. As I look back now, no longer did it happen to me, it happened for me. Years later, family doctors were like, you had less than 1% chance of turning this around. Went to treatment, okay, but life still spiraled out of control. I still had no ability to manage all this. Had twins, got married. At 2.5, my first wife left me and my twins for drugs and alcohol. Okay, my parents helped me raise my kids. Married a second person. Did not work out well. Okay, I lost everything twice, 3 times, multiple times. Okay, and I had to find a way to navigate that or feel different. So I drank heavily. I did drugs still, smoked weed, other things. Once in a while, yeah, I still went back to cocaine. So there was this battle, this struggle. I had no control of my mindset, the ability to manage my emotional states. And all I wanted to do was feel different, which is why I drank. My drink of choice then was Jack Daniels. I don't drink anymore. I don't smoke. I don't do anything. Okay. And everything, and I had my own businesses so everything I did, I succeeded, failed, succeeded, failed, succeeded, failed. And in the process, lost everything. Ended up owing the government over $140,000 in taxes. I had a baby store called Baby Steps, and my second ex-wife was to be paying that tax, but wasn't. Then I found out one day that I was behind. We ended up parting ways. Okay, life kept going on. Years later, I got to the point in my third marriage, the right person, okay, and she had witnessed all the things that I go through on a daily basis, and I kept driving. Remember that drive, the discipline, the desire, drive, and discipline. Well, I've had that my whole life, so I kept pushing for answers, and things kept happening to me, right? And again, no ability to control my mindset or my emotional states. And I had this rage, pure rage, my entire life that I had no idea where this came from. And I made no progress whatsoever or any inkling of progress regarding it. And in my process of finding solutions, it was time for me to give up. There were other things overcoming my mind, everything. And it just kept worsening. And my wife and I sat at our dining room table downstairs. Okay. And I said to her, if I can't find resources now, I need to end my life. Can you imagine saying that to your wife or your husband? And then they look at you and say, I understand. Shortly after that, in my process of looking for resources, all of a sudden things started falling in my path. Actually, I learned God put them in my path, and that drive, desire, and discipline moved me into them to help me find solutions for what I was experiencing in my own life. Okay, to the point I wanted to end it. And what happened was I began to take certain courses. Okay, and I ran across these resources. One of them is Mind Valley, largest self-improvement company in the world. And certain things started to fall, and certain people and resources started to fall in my path, which led me to ending up getting healed and helped by the top hypnotherapist in the world, whose name is Paul McKenna, considered one of the one or two top hypnotherapists in the world. And again, I did not go into this looking to do anything but finding solutions for me. All right. Never saw anything that's going on in my life ever. Never thought about it. Never had a plan, nothing. I just wanted to survive, find solutions for me. That turned into, you have a gift. You need to use this. You need to go further. And that led me to Dr. Richard Bandler and John Lavelle, who owned Pure NLP. Okay. And Dr. Richard Bandler is the co-creator of NLP. A lot of people use it for sales, but this is Dr. Richard Bandler created a way to understand how we process information, how we develop habits, beliefs, all of this stuff, how we're programmed by society, and how we detach from ourselves, and how to reconnect and manage and understand how people process information. And it's like the Matrix. Okay, you see all these pieces. This piece is, what is that? Wait a minute, take that out. This one is what's supposed to be there, or there's something missing. It's crazy how this stuff is. And it all clicked with me. Then I was trained by Dr. Richard Bandler and John Lavelle. And now I'm certified as a hypnotherapist, NLP practitioner, all of this stuff. And that's how I came to be in my own practice, which is freedom and healing and championship mindset. That's how this podcast came to be, because my mission in the world is to help people reclaim, reconnect themselves to themselves, so they feel and have the ability to feel, which has been disconnected from us from all the negative programming that, in my opinion, is intentional. What is intentional? To keep us down, keep us controlled, to keep us consumers. I know if you're listening to this message live or listening to the audio, you're starting to identify with some of this, if not all of it. Okay. And God gave me the ability to be very candid, very clear, very simple. And so championship mindset started because my passion as an athlete was so strong. They were like, you need to create a niche, right? Now we're talking how we move forward in a world of the structure of a business, right? And that's how championship mindset came to be. We're helping professional athletes double, triple, quadruple their confidence, their true grit, their focus, their resilience, their bounce back, everything that they need to not only perform their best in the sport that they're in, but also in life, because at some point that sport is going to end, right? And they need to transition. And whether you're athlete or not, life is a sport, and transitioning for people becomes very difficult, because if we go all the way back to when we start school and you look back at your experiences now, you go, wait a minute, we're being taught what to think, not how to think. And then we're compartmentalized as consumers. This is one way that you can put it. We're not reaching our full potential. I was not reaching my full potential. Okay? Because we're not in control of our mindset and managing our emotional states the majority of the world. We're following these patterns. We're following these beliefs. We're creating these values that are somebody else's code. And you see it in the world today, even to the extent if somebody doesn't agree, they'll end your life. or feel that they can do that, and they'll do that, right? So my mission is to help people reclaim that mindset, okay, and manage their emotional states so they can be their best, live their best, be as happy, the most happiest they can be as themselves. Okay, raised to that next level. What I couldn't do, and the severity of the situations in my life in the past, I was a victim. I thought it was happening to me. It happened for me. Okay, there's no other way, and that was like divine intervention for me to still be here today. I should have been dead a million times, over and over and over. I used to get high on drugs, LSD, cocaine, alcohol, get on a crotch rocket, Interceptor 500 V4, and go 130 miles from Milwaukee to Mequon, which is a suburb, to go to work in the morning. Okay, that's nuts. There's no reason I didn't lose my life other than a divine intervention. Okay. And if I didn't have my current wife, I would think I was nuts, but she's seen it all. She's been through it with me. She understands it all. And now here we are. I've been trained. I've been given these gifts from God, and now I'm a vessel where all of these things are coming through me. Okay, where my ego, I understand it now. My ego is removed. I want to manage my emotional states and be in control of my mindset so everything can come through me for me to serve my highest purpose, the reason that I'm here. Okay. Each one of us has a very specific purpose why we're here. But we lead with the logical mind. You go to school, you do this, you go to college, then you come out, you get a job, We're following a system, but it's not our own system. Okay, that's directing us. That's keeping us controlled. That's funneling us into somebody else's plan, right? So the ability to control my thoughts, the ability to control my emotional states allows our purpose to unfold in front of us, where we don't have to control things. I just made a video the other day, control or change. Okay. The ego wants to control everything and then take credit for it. Yet, in fact, every single thing in life is changing every second. We need to understand this. We need to embrace it. And then another social media thing I did the other day is trust, believe, and allow. But how do people get there? If I explain all this to people and they're having all of these issues in life and challenges, and by the way, challenges happen for us because we've earned the ability for that challenge. And now it's there for us to go further and be better. How do we move through it? How do we embrace it? I tell people, invite challenge. It's for you. It's telling you, it's a signal. It's time for you to improve. There's more for you now. Embrace it, shift it into your purpose. Allow it, trust, believe, allow, to show you the path, to show you the way. Okay. But how do people do this? I mean, if I give people a set of instructions, their logical mind will come into play. They'll fight it. They won't do it. And now here we are back in the same place. Using hypnosis and NLP are techniques that are holistic, that make it easy, efficient, fast, where we clear out someone else's code. We clear out the old code. We detach from the trauma from bad experiences. You keep the experience, but you have knowledge and wisdom, and that's part of you and your character. But we remove that so it no longer emotionally hurts you over and over and over. Okay? So we work with the unconscious mind and the logical mind. The unconscious mind stores everything, remembers everything, and processes millions of bits of data per second. The logical mind, 7, 8, 9, 10, whatever it is, And that runs the habits, the beliefs, the patterns, whatever it's familiar with. We change in the unconscious, that's where these things are created by how we're processing the information. A great way to think about this is what you place your attention on, you get more of. Look at the world. We are programmed to be drama, programmed to feel I'm not enough, programmed to feel I need this drugs, alcohol, aspirin, Tylenol, whatever it is, when everybody has inside of them everything that they need. So, using the techniques and the training that I specialize in, and I call it mindset, okay? Championship mindset. Main company is called Freedom and Healing. Same thing, okay? But now how do I change the world? I take all this knowledge and ability and trainings, and my passion is to help people reconnect themselves and be their best. And I use these tools and techniques and modalities, whatever you want to call them, and help them clear all that stuff out and unlock the true code of each individual so they can be their best in whatever they're doing. Remember, life is a sport. Okay? Be their best self, perform at the highest level, no matter what that is, specific to each individual. It's fast, it's easy, it's fun. So then I was helping professional athletes, and I'm like, you know what, this isn't as fun as I thought it would be. There's a lot of variables. Okay. An environment that they're around is one of the issues. So was I successful? Yes, but the enjoyment part was off. And then I was told by my mentors that trained me, hey, you got to have fun with this. So I prayed, I meditated, and it came to me, I want to help change the world. How am I going to do that? Well, if I'm going to change the world, and I'm going to improve the world with what my purpose is and do whatever my part is, I want to work with kids. That's how championship mindset came to be. Elevate your mindset, elevate your game, because when we work with kids, they're our future. Okay. And if kids from ages 10 to 18 are getting all the junk cleared out earlier, because most people never do. You see that in the world today. People have lost their mind, the ability to manage mindset and their emotional states. And they're just reacting all over the place. It's messy, isn't it? So I created what I call the I.G.O.A.T mental method, unlocking their individual code to greatness, where we clear out the junk and we install and upgrade their unconscious mind and unlock their code to greatness. Look at what's happening in sports today. We're driving kids into this system, okay? Why? To see who comes out that can make someone else a profit. And then when they're done being used in that system, they're discarded. Now they've got to integrate back into life, and all they know, they had an identity of an athlete. Does that sound familiar? They may get hurt. They may get beat out. They may age out. Whatever it is, sports are going to end, and then they have to have all of these things while they're playing sports as well to be able to be their best and perform their best no matter the pressure. I hope this is making sense. Trying to make this as simple as possible to understand who I am and what I do, how I got here. There's a lot more to it, but trying to simplify it. Okay. So I'm back coaching now, kids. And yesterday we had a doubleheader in softball, girls, age 10, U10. And we had, so I'm getting back into this and I'm live in it, seeing these coaches like standing there talking once in a while, or sitting on a bucket. I'm sorry, but the majority of time, there's no coaching happening. The majority of the time, there's no character building. There's no resilience. There's no, and I hear this word all the time, develop. We're developing. No, no, no. That's not what development is. Okay, years ago when I played, I was blessed with Olympic coaches and all kinds of stuff. And they taught character, they taught drive, they taught how to be motivated. Motivation comes from within. It's not something you go and get or find. They taught respect. They taught team, leadership, all of these principles, and those are not being taught today. Anyone can argue with me on this, and people do, and it's not happening. The logical ego is taking over, going, this is how I coach. This is the way it's going to happen. I'm not going to change anything. In fact, closing down the open mind stops that person or people that are like that, which is the majority, from even growing themselves. So how are they developing players? They're not. It's about them, right? So getting our future, all of the things they need mindset wise, outstanding confidence, a greatness mindset in anything that they're doing and experiencing, overcoming mental blocks, anxiety and stress mastery, true grit, resilience, focus. All of these things are what I provide in my I.G.O.A.T mental method for children. For adults too, I help pro athletes. It's for anybody. Simple, fast, easy, transformational, and permanent. And the rest of their life, they have what they need to perform at their highest in sports and in life, no matter the pressure. Okay, what I'm talking about right now, the system that we live in does not want me sharing this information and doing what I'm doing. But my mission is to help as many people as possible reclaim themselves, to enjoy life. We're missing the majority of life, and it's right in front of us. Okay? But we're programmed from it instead of into it. And that's why championship mindset, is really, for me, as Jesus, as is my foundation, Jesus Christ, championship mindset, a foundation of faith. We have to have a foundation, and it's okay if people don't believe. I'm not here to preach, but then what is the foundation? And we build mindset on top of that. If mindset is the foundation, fine. Either way, people are going to be better, be their best in sports, career, relationships, whatever. My purpose at this point is for that to happen based on all of the really horrible things that happened to me and I was a part of in my life prior that I thought happened to me. They happened for me. Okay? So going back to trust, believe, allow, be aware. Be aware of the signs around you. Okay? Use breathing techniques. Breathe in 4 seconds, hold it for 4 seconds, breathe out 7 seconds, and start to notice the feeling changes everywhere. Then do it again, do it again, do it again, 5, 6, 7 times, and that resets your state fast. It resets your neurology. Okay? Visualize how you want to be, how you want your day to go. Listen to frequency music on YouTube. There's tons of free stuff that, if you want confidence, if you want resilience, if you want reduced stress, all this stuff, they've proven this is how things are created. Energy, matter, vibration. Why is this not being taught in schools? And some are, but why aren't we taught this from the beginning? So we have the ability with the most powerful computer in the world, our brain, to create anything we want. Why are we? I don't feel enough. I'm not enough. I need this. I'm depressed. I have anxiety. Anxiety is a God-given sense to alarm you, nudge you that you're ready for more. It's like butterflies. One of my coaches told me, when you have those butterflies, get all the butterflies flying in the right direction. What does that require? Awareness, visualization, then take action, breathe, move into it. It's like in a game, like he shared with me, in a 90-minute soccer game, if you get the ball, you have 1 minute and 30 seconds on average to make an impact in that game. So we need to manage our minds, control our minds, and manage our emotional states so we're ready for those moments. I mean, that's profound stuff, and it's 100% true. We need to step back, be aware, breathe, lean into challenges, invite challenges, because that means there's more for you now in life. And if you block it off, if you run from it, if you shrug it off and you don't move into that, your life is going to reflect that. So coaching, one coach leaves, I don't know if it was me or whatever, but I'm just doing mindset. And I was told parents complained about me helping their kids with mindset. Okay. And I'm like, well, what do you mean? It's all positive. It's visualization. It's helping them understand what resilience is, how we achieve it. When the tough stuff comes, we got there. We earned the tough stuff. Now it's how we move through it. It's how we develop. It's how we grow. It's how we build resilience, right? And then we keep going. More opportunities, same process. All right. We build mental toughness. And as you move through that, confidence rises. Focus rises. Why? Because you're being shown what works instead of living what doesn't. And that living what doesn't is being programmed into us. Let's clear that crap out. And last night we had a doubleheader, and they've lost the last 3 games in a row. And here we are. The girls are scoring runs. They're hitting. We're and remember, there was a negative element that was removed, and now here I am. I'm coming into my true form, and I'm communicating way better with the other coach, who happens to be the head coach, and things are going great. I mean, it was so different. I was so full of joy in watching these girls run around second base, coming to third, and their eyes and their smiles were just like, man, it just went through me like a rocket ship. And it just like, wow, this is cool. We won that game. Second game, we played a team that hasn't lost. Girls didn't know this. They're up 6-1. They ended up losing 7-6. But the ability, the growth, the belief, the awareness, the energy, the resilience, the growth, all of this happened. They started learning team. They started learning respect for individual and as the team. It was amazing. It's giving me tingles just talking about it because it's so pure. It's so good. Today's world in sports, we're driving our kids. I'm seeing parents living their failed dream through their kids shutting down more than ever. In the weeks prior, 4 girls crying in the dugout after they make mistakes. Another one withdrawing so badly she didn't even want to play anymore. Because we're not helping them get what they need. We're just having them play a sport, and we're convincing ourselves, the majority of people out there, coaches, they're convincing themselves that they're doing a good job at coaching. And then you've got parents screaming from the sidelines and talking over the coach and slamming their hands on the bench, the bleachers. And I mean, how are we leading by example? Out of control, no control of the mindset, no control of managing the emotional states, but the ego is blasting everything and controlling everything. And by the way, the unconscious smart, the logical mind stupid. Okay? So getting people the ability to connect with their true self, be able to deal with pressure at any level and move through it and grow and develop and continue living life their best self, that equals their happiest self. I hope this message is helpful, because it's true. All right. And even though we couldn't have the regular guest on today, I appreciate anybody watching, anyone taking the time to listen to this. I'm grateful. One of the things I teach: open your eyes. As soon as you open your eyes in the morning, 3 things to be grateful for, little or big. Every single day, change it up with something new, and you will open the door. You will start cracking that door open to life. Gratitude is a ticket to that. Okay. Start using breathing 447. Reset your state. You have the most powerful computer in the world right between your ears. Either good is going to happen between those ears, or or bad is going to happen. And that bad is making people that control the system, that set up the system, that run the system, that run the industries, all of it, they're making them millions, billions of dollars. You're doing them a favor. Okay? If you're ready, or you have a young child, athlete, whatever, that is struggling with confidence, bouncing back from mistakes, lack of focus, lack of resilience, go to freedomandhealing.com and you'll see schedule a discovery call. We'll have a one-on-one video call, and it's brief, it's easy, it's quick. I'll explain this to you, and I guarantee results, period. And I do that because of who I was trained by and what they have helped me to unlock in me. All right. If anyone is ready to upgrade themselves and their life and clear the bad code out, let's talk. Okay. You can find me on YouTube at Championship Mindset -1, Facebook Championship Mindset 1, LinkedIn Spencer Sen, and Instagram Championship Mindset 1. I hope this was helpful. I hope this is starting to crack the door and open your mind a little bit, because when we have a closed mind and we're inside that box, which all of us are, you're not your best self, period. Okay. We need to live in that system, on that system, but we've got to spill over into outside of that box where real, true life development, happiness is. We still have to live with the system, but let's eliminate the system. Let's inoculate the system from controlling you and give you the ability to live in that system, but in control of your mindset and your emotional states. I hope this was helpful. Please go to my social media and YouTube, subscribe, like, share, and let me know when you want to talk. God bless. Be your best. Let your mind show you the way and feel into, should you connect with Spencer and Freedom and Healing Championship Mindset, or do you want to keep going down the same path? Look at the results. Look at how it feels. And the next thing is to be honest with yourself and others. God bless. Have a great day. And until the next time, keep developing your mindset. Open it up. Let it happen. Desire, drive, discipline. Have a great day.